1700 hours. I'd like to call this Harbor Management Commission to order. And do we have a quorum? Yes, we do. I'd like to have, if you have a chance to please approve the
Make a
minutes.
motion, we approve.
Second it, Michael Atlanta.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Do you have to do roll call because it's with Mark?
Who's the only one there? Sakuza?
Yep, I'm a yes.
All right, Mark, to expedite things, say your name and say yay or nay so we can, thank you.
Roll call.
Mark Sakuzo, yes.
Okay, unanimous.
Yep.
Okay, the Harbor Master Report, obviously Richard's on here, and I assume that he has nothing to say or he wouldn't be here. Any correspondence? Does anyone have any correspondence from on behalf of the Harbor Management Commission?
No.
Okay, anyone? None? Going once, twice, gone. Financial report.
Okay, year-to-date total revenue, 7,000. For the month of August, we had our portion or half of the data line for the harbor camp, $75.40. And the recording secretary's fee of $80 for professional services, a total of $155.40, $310.80 year-to-date. We have net income of $6,689.20 year-to-date. Cash available summary balance at the start of year was $1568.19. Year-to-date total revenue 7,000. Year-to-date total expenses $310.80. Balance currently available $22,357.39, of which $3,245.32 is restricted for the harbor management plan, and there is $19,112.07 unrestricted available funds.
And that does not include. Does that include anything from state?
No. No, none of that.
Okay.
But we should touch base with John.
Here's a motion to approve the minutes or the financial report, rather.
Can I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mark?
Mark Sakuzo, yes.
Okay, unanimous, thank you very much. Okay. Any new business? We have a clock tower that seems to be talked about, too much about it, being done by the Rotary. I believe Grant, can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, I think we talked about this last time that the Rotary wants to put a clock tower in Brown Park, and you know, that's kind of all I know of that. I don't know if they've reached out or if you've got
We're no
any-
farther than last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have to go to monuments committee or something.
They have gone to one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
One day saying about the monuments.
Okay. I think we left it that we need to see what it's gonna look like and, okay, so nothing further.
And there was
Yeah.
been some comments about maybe putting it in the Rotary. Downtown.
Okay, well, that would knock us out of the whole thing, so.
Right.
Okay, so nothing on the clock tower, any old business, old business. The only thing I have on the old business, is growing shells. I'm still,
Nothing new.
nothing. Both Whalen, Station and Stonington, sent a working profile of how they govern their growing, both the development of the rowers and also the organization itself. Today have not received it. I said I was going away. Probably did not get it back till after the 18th of October.
Tucker,
Yes.
on that proposal that I said I was gonna be working on, when should that come up? I've got a little bit of information here, but
Please share.
is that old business or
I was-
Later. other
Yeah.
down the bottom? Okay.
Well, do we have anything under the bond commission, all that, or anything new with that, or is that still?
As far as I know, the bond commission, both grants, for the docks and the overview coming off of Heritage Park You're gonna be, it's gonna be for the bond commission on the 28th of October. So we're not gonna.
So nothing new there either. Okay.
Um, Don't have any citizens. Comment on, so let's go to other,
I've got another two.
let's have the others.
All right, from the Department of the Army. Based on the information you have provided, we verify the activity is authorized under general permit number 2 of the enclosed December 15th, 2021 federal permit known as Connecticut General Permits. We got the permit to do our pilings.
Is that for the Army Corps of Engineers or the Army?
Army Corps of Engineers,
Army Corps of Engineers.
which is the Army Corps of Engineers.
So this is with Bob, our purchasing agent, and it's the Department of the Army Regional Permits for the state of Connecticut.
Did Jeff send that to you?
I don't know, Jeff, did you get a copy of that?
Yeah, yes, the main permit or approval was from DEEP. And then the Army's permit is it's a general permit, so there was no application required. It just met the terms of a project that they didn't have any objections to. So we expected that all along, but that's what, once we got the DEEP approval. But that's just the paperwork for that then.
You have an email. Yep, so we're just waiting for money. That's it.
We're just waiting for money, and that's, I think the high part of this whole thing is done.
Well, as Tucker said, once the bond commission allocates the funds, then there would be a contractual agreement between the Port Authority and the city. And then Mr. Castronova or whomever in the city would put it together, there would be an RFP for both projects that would have to be issued.
Since you have pretty good luck talking with Joe Salvatore, could you have Joe Salvatore send both of that letter for both letters to the city manager, not the mayor, because the city manager is the day-to-day operations.
Right.
Thank you. Jeff, do you have anything you want to talk about?
Well, just, excuse me. The Port Authority or Mr. Salvatore indicated that when the Port Authority goes to the bond commission at the October meeting to request these funds, they may, he said, they haven't decided yet, request in advance of the previously authorized SHIP funds, an advance of next year's funds, which would mean they would have additional money and there'd be a possibility of applying for other projects without having to wait another year until next July. And one of the projects we had discussed with them, with the Port Authority is some sort of a feasibility project to determine what would be needed for a rowing facility on the Thames River. And I think I've been talking with Joe a little bit about this. And of course, the issue is we don't have a property, a city-owned property to put the facility. But I was thinking that in the interim, we could, if we could get some planning money funds from the Port Authority, we could decide what the criteria is, what sort of facility is needed, and the types of facilities in terms of storage and parking and dock access. So I'll find out hopefully sooner instead of later whether they'll be asking for additional money on October 28th, and whether then we should think about another a grant for planning this. But that's all I have to say about that now.
Jeff, do you have any contact with people in Stonington?
No.
All right. What about Stonington and Mystic?
Well, I can make some contacts, but as far as the criteria and the facilities that are needed, I did reach out to one of the rowing clubs in Norwalk, and those pictures I sent over the weekend, Tucker, were from an event on the Norwalk River. So I can talk to the rowing clubs in Stonington and Mystic. I can find out if if in fact there's an opportunity for us to get some additional money from the Port Authority to evaluate this.
Well, I think, yeah. We have the shells, we have the river,
Yeah,
what we want to do with it. Now, how do we do it?
how do we do it? Yes, and I don't see why that wouldn't qualify as a planning grant from the Port Authority, but I'll keep talking with Joe about that.
Okay. There are 4 shells, or the remnants of the old Rose City Rowing Club. They are at Ben Latham's home right now. He called me. And he would like to have those put into the collection that we have already in the Mohegan Park. So maybe how does everybody feel about that? There's a couple of singles and a double and a trailer. They're just sitting there.
Yeah, I don't think they should go to the collection at Mohegan Park at this point, because we don't even know if we can get our hands on those. So if we give those up, we may lose control of those as well.
Yeah.
So, because it'd be nice to get our custody of those if we're gonna try to use them. Right now, we don't. If we give them more, we may lose all of it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No. Is there anywhere else that they could be potentially stored, or an idea of where they could be stored?
All I know is Ben doesn't want them in his home anymore.
Right.
Yeah, let them. You gotta be big.
I mean, they would just drop off at Ben's.
Does he have them outside?
And he has them outside.
Where did they come from?
They come from the old Rose City Road.
Oh, okay.
So I was keeping them, and he doesn't want them.
Hmm.
So Ben ended up with them. They know that Ben was involved in it, so,
Could Richard provide those?
yeah, I hate them.
Yeah.
I'm kind of out of room myself, so
Yeah.
I could keep them outside, but I don't have indoor room for them.
Maybe we get old Joyels, maybe those.
They just don't have indoor storage for them. Yeah, outside. I've got room to store them outside if you want, but I just don't have indoor storage for them.
Okay,
So if you want that, we can do that. Just
Yeah.
let me know.
yeah, okay, I will.
I couldn't get a bigger boat. Place to put them.
Not putting them on the boat.
Okay, any other, any others?
I think I'd mentioned that I was trying to put a proposal together for the new wharf, which the city doesn't own, but the buildings now are development capable. I talked to Deanna Rhodes and told her all the ideas I had, and I was putting some stuff together and everything. And she said, you can develop them, but you can't put anything permanent. You can't have a restaurant there. I mentioned the rowing sculls, and she said, yeah, you could do that in one of the buildings. You could fix a building and store them in there and put a dock going over. She said you could have a boat launch there. You could get people to get down there. That road leading down is kind of tricky, but I don't know, maybe
She
some,
said you got a boat launch there?
she did say that was one of the things you could do. But my idea is getting trailers and the boats down there on that tricky little road going down there. It would always be nice if we could have a bridge going from Howard Brown Park over there. There was a bridge there once, many years ago, in the 1800s. There was a train bridge going across from Howard Brown Park. What now, because the Norwich and Worcester Railroad came down and stopped right at Howard Brown Park in the big terminal. All the freight and passengers would get on the steamboats that were there and then head down the river. But I think the foundations of the bridge are still there. One at Howard Brown Park and one
Yeah, we knew
over at New Wharf, the stone, bases.
So, in your investigation, does it say who owns that road?
I think the railroad owns part of it because the tracks go across, but I would think that would be a city road because it's called New Wharf Road, I believe, or I think that's the name of it. So the city would have to name it. The city probably owns it. I didn't check into that.
Unless it's considered abandoned, then it's Waddington owns it.
Yeah,
It's one of the two, yeah.
Yeah.
we don't plow it.
I don't think anybody, no,
And it's probably
nobody,
an abandoned road. and
nobody-
therefore it'd be
nobody-
Part of Waddington's property.
yeah, nobody goes down there. So anyway, but I had put something together, basically at the beginning. And I have a Facebook friend, Brian Swope, that has a drone, and he's done some beautiful pictures of Norwich at night, Christmas, all times, you know. And I contacted him and I said, hey, would you do me a favor? I said, I'm working on a project. Will you take some pictures of the new wharf area, the buildings there and everything? And he said, yeah, I'll get down there and I'll take some. Well, he took about 50 pictures. So he sent me a whole bunch, and some of these are his. I went online to find out the area that's there. Did a little history of Norwich with everything working its way down to the harbor and how important it was with the railroad and the steamboats and everything else. These I got offline. The enterprise zone incorporates that area on the river. And there's a red hash marks over here that says where the floodway is, and it has what you can do here and everything else. And then this is in opportunity zone. So I think they'd like to do something there if they could.
There are some economic.
But first of all, the city would have to own it, which is not.
And then there's a ton of
That's
environmentals. There's a lot of issues. I'm all for, something needs to happen there. Just, it's gonna be one expensive.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot more work, and I don't know really what I can do right now, because the city would have to own it before we even get into how you want to fix it up and everything. So that's as far as I got.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, something can be done, but you know, then again, for like money with the COVID relief fund or whatever coming next year, we were talking about, would we have something shovel ready to put some money towards? Well, the city has to own it first, so whether or not the city wants to buy
That's
it.
the big
Big
stumbling
if, you know.
Had a chance of buying it for peanuts, and now David wants to make it.
Now they want walnuts. Yeah. Okay.
It's still relatively inexpensive for waterfront property. On the other hand, the environmental cleanup, which the city could get covered under brownfield dollars, would be great. You know? It'd be awesome to see something done with the property, that's for sure. It's gonna be a billion-dollar job.
Now, the fellow that owns it now is paying taxes on that, right?
Mhm.
So he probably wanted to get rid of it because he doesn't
He
really,
just doesn't want to scrap it.
yeah, exactly. So if the
He
city-
bought it, my understanding is he bought it to hold the permit. He didn't want his
Sure.
competition to buy the permit,
That makes
because
sense,
he has
because
other scrap
he
yards.
has other scrap
but I
yards.
believe he's keeping the permit because it adds value to the property. They're not adding any, they're not allowing any more permits in the state, so as long as he controls it, he's, you know, he could sell it and be valuable as a scrapyard, or it's valuable to prevent it being a scrapyard competing against him, so. Wise move, my decision. He's done a nice job cleaning up the property from what it was, but it'd be nice to see something develop there.
That's all I have.
Thank you, David. Anything else? Anyone else? Good. Then, I guess the next thing is to adjourn this meeting.
Raise a motion to adjourn the meeting.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Mark?
Mark Sakuzo, aye. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Take care, Jeff.
You guys.
Oh, okay.
All right, go to Wilson's if anyone wants a drink.
Good night, Jeff.
Having a breakfast there next week, I think.
Yeah, they do a lot of those. That's amazing.